Hello. Hi, guys. Join me. Grab a cup of something awesome. Welcome to Tea with D. I'm super pumped you're here. And we're going to get real as we do, well, every week, because I want to talk to you about unlocking your passion. And now I know that we always talk about purpose on some level. That's my goal for humanity is for everybody to understand that they are more than what they can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Okay? So we know this. We know you are more than that. We know that you're more than all the hats that you wear. And so many people come to me and they say, Delenn, I got to know my purpose. I got to know my purpose. And it's like they go, oh, my purpose is a thing. Your purpose isn't a thing. Okay. Your purpose is a feeling that you have. Okay. Step one. Okay. You express that purpose in lots of different ways. So I express it through talking to you. This is part of my purpose. I express it when I'm parenting Izzy and Ellie. I express it through wifing with Dave. I express it through daughtering and friending and all of the other hats that I wear. Okay. So you can tell that it's not just one thing. So for anybody that's like, my purpose is to be a mom. That's not true. You had your purpose. You were born with your purpose. And you had it long before you procreated other humans. Okay. And you're going to have it after they fly the nest. Your purpose isn't your job. Oh, well, I'm manager, VP, CEO of ... industry. That's great. That's a way that you express it, but that's not it. And the fact is that most people, there's a really good chunk of humanity that's not actually even happy in what they're doing. Okay. And I want to, bring you back in time and a little for instance. Okay. Because I get it because I was there. And it wasn't because, some people don't like their jobs because they're like, well, they don't pay me enough money. Well, good for you. You know your worth and you know you're not getting paid what you deserve. The fact is, most people aren't getting paid what they deserve. Okay. Like I mean, I live in Barbados now and I watch like the average income here is not super high and people are working just as hard as they do in Canada. Okay. And that's just the way it is. And honestly, like we have this opportunity to go, no, like I know my worth and I'm on purpose, i.e. I am like expressing myself through this work in a way that feels really good for me. And the fact is most people actually don't care how much they're getting paid when they are expressing themselves in a way that means something to them. So for me, I worked in right out of university. Actually, when I was in university, I was a summer student at the hospital that I ended up getting a job at after university. Okay. So, and I mean, this is the same hospital that I was a volunteer at during high school. It was my community hospital. Okay. So all I knew really was this space. So I ended up working there. And then 15 years in, I've now started climbing the ladder, right? And it kind of went like, get a job. Oh, I need more education. Go get more education. Get the other job. And I was just like, just keep on going, keep on going. And this is what I thought I was meant for until I like actually stopped and took a step back. And for me, that happened like in Canada, we get a year maternity leave. And the whole year I was off after I'd given birth to Isabella, I was like, wait a sec, like, I'm not really looking forward to going back. That was my first indicator. I was like, I knew for me, I was like, I'm not really interested in being like, the stay-at-home mom that like, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you've chosen. That's not what I'm saying. But that wasn't me. I was like, I know I'm supposed to express myself in a different way, but I knew it wasn't going back to that space. Okay. So it gave me time. That's very scary to even have that initial thought. Okay. So if you're like going, hey, I've been spending however long, like I went to school for a certain thing, and then I've been in the career now 15, 20 years, whatever it is, like long enough that you're kind of going, I'm pot committed to it. Like it's not like I've just dabbled in it for a few years and I can really just transition, like rights and society wouldn't think I'm like totally losing it, right? And but it was the feeling that I had. I was like, I'm really good at this job. And best part about healthcare is there's lots of different ways that I could, like, things I could move into. But when even I started going, for me, I was going like, okay, even if I moved into this role or I started working for this organization, or even if I was like the CEO of all of healthcare in Canada, that's not really a job, but whatever, right? Like even if I was at the very top of the top, would I love that work? Would I be expressing myself in a way? And I don't even need to know the job. And I was just like, no, like that's not what I'm meant to be doing. And for you, you might be going, okay, I know I don't love what I'm doing. Like it's for sure a job. It's for sure a job. And we're going to do a little assessment on if you have a job or a passion right now. Okay. Because you might be telling yourself it's a passion, but you're just trying to convince yourself because you really don't want to get uncomfortable and switch it up. Okay. So we're gonna do a little assessment here. But for me, I was like, okay, there's nothing that I can do in this. I put like healthcare into a box. I was like, I am passionate about this industry. And don't kid yourself, you guys, it is an industry. I'm like, I'm very passionate about it. But it's like the box that's been put around it. I felt stifled. Okay. So this is where it's just like, you'll know if, say you're like going throughout your day and you're like, some days I felt like just a firefighter. I was just like putting out fires all over the place. And then I was like, okay, it's been a good day, right? Like I didn't get burned too bad. And then other days I was like pulling my hair out because I just felt like I was constantly just beating my head up against a wall. Like I was running into barriers all over the place. And then other days it would be right. And when I looked at it, I was like, okay, out of a 30-day period, there was really like 2, maybe 3 days where I got to, and for me, it was like I got to do the same thing like once a month, and it really lit me up. Okay. So part of one of my roles was I got to, any new people that joined the hospital, I got to give them their orientation. Okay. So like imagine me, right? I got to stand up in front of them, like welcome them to the organization, pump them up, make sure they knew all the stuff. Like I loved it. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is, and those days I would be putting in like 12, 14-hour days because it was a lot of prep before and after the 8-hour orientation days, right? But I was like on fire, and I was just like running around. I was doing my thing, and when I looked, I was like, damn, orientation days really like my only days that I really love. So then I asked myself, I was like, how do I make every day orientation day? Like, how do I take what I love about it? Like, I love meeting new people. And this is what I want you guys doing, okay, throughout my story, okay? Think about, what is it that you love to do? Like, I love meeting new people. I love teaching people. I love like speaking outside the box. I love hearing other people's perspective. I love seeing their growth, right? So I started just capturing all of these things. And then I asked myself, is there a space that I could do this in that's already created? So ask yourself, after you've kind of created your list of like everything that you're like, this is what I actually love, this is what I'm actually passionate about, is there a space that's already created that I could do this? Okay. And you might be aware of it or you might not be, right? But for me, I was certainly interested in starting to find the way, right? Because I'm like, I always thought that I would do like consulting or something, but I assumed it would be like after I retired, right? Because that's what everybody does, right? Everybody puts in the 30 years to get their pension, and then they get to live the good life and work whenever they want. And I always knew that was for me. Like the moment I was like, yes, that is for me. But I just assumed it would be like when I was 65, because that's when everybody else does it, right? But then when I started looking, and I was like, okay, so what I desire to do doesn't currently, like I can't find where it exists, right? Like it might exist in the pockets of it, or I might even change industries or whatever. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to start creating something. Okay. And then the creation came from there. Okay. And then now it's been 10 years and here I am still doing the same thing. It's evolved though. If you've been hanging out with me for the last 10 years, you're like, Dalit is not the same person she was. I'm not the same person you guys I was a year ago, let alone 10 years ago. Okay. So this is where you let the evolution happen from there. Either way, you're evolving. Okay. So now what I want you guys to do is I want you to kind of assess your current situation. Okay. I want you to look at where you are now. How do you know if you're in a job that just kind of like pays the bills but lacks the passion? Okay. There are some telltale signs that you have this. Maybe you dread Mondays. Maybe like every Sunday you kind of get this like pit in your stomach, like, oh, gotta go to work tomorrow. Okay. Maybe you're constantly looking at your watch or the clock. Okay. Maybe you feel this sense of emptiness at the end of each workday. That was me. I felt exhausted. Maybe you're feeling exhausted. Okay. At the end of orientation day, for me, I was still like, like I'd come home from work and Dave would be like, oh, forgot today was orientation day. Delin is buzzing. Okay. So this is where it's just, whereas the other 27 days of the month, I was like, oh, it was a good day and I did some stuff and it was all stuff I was really good at, but it didn't light me up. Okay. You deserve to be lit up. Okay. And then you're even thinking, because I'm like up until yesterday, very much control. Okay. Loved the control. And even when I went off of maternity leave, I was like, who's going to do my job for me? Who could step into my shoes? Fact, they filled my shoes very quickly. It's a hard pill to swallow. Okay. You will get your shoes filled. Okay. So just know that. And that's okay. Okay. That's okay. So you have to kind of wrap your head around that. The fact is the job you're in right now that doesn't light you up, it's meant for somebody. It's meant for somebody. It's the job that will actually, it's somebody else's passion. And so then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, man, by me like holding so tight onto this job, I'm depriving somebody else of their passion. I'm depriving them of that. Like, who do I think I am? So I'm not living my passion and I'm like holding on to a job that's somebody else's passion, right? Okay, these are the indicators that you might be stuck in a job that's not fulfilling. Now, I want you to take a moment. I want you to really reflect on this. Okay, just even like close your eyes. It helps. Okay, close your eyes and think about your current job. How does it make you feel? Are you excited to go to work every day? Do you jump out of bed and you're pumped up? You're just pumped more than just 3 days a week. You're pumped up. Or do you find yourself just kind of going through the motions? Okay, I want you to take note of the feelings because you got to know where you currently are. Then I want you to discover your passion. Okay, so we're going to shift our focus here. Okay, and like I said, your purpose and your passion, this is crucial to insert into your professional service. Either way, we're meant to be of service to people. We think that jobs were created so that we could, go pay the bills. Jobs were created so that we could be of service to each other. This is what every human actually desires. Okay? But you deserve to be deeply passionate about it. Okay, what are the things that you do in a day that kind of like make you lose track of time? What topics are you deeply passionate about? What are your core values? What are things that you want to make sure that are inserted into your day? Okay, your passions, they align closely with your values. Okay, this is really important. This is why in every organization you see slapped up when you first walk in the building, their mission, vision, and values. You want to make sure that you're working in an organization that aligns with your values and that they're actually executing them. That's the key. Anybody can slap a mission, vision, value statement up onto a wall. Doesn't mean they're doing anything about it. Okay? Take time to jot down, what are your thoughts around this? What's coming up for you? And then you get to bridge the gap. Okay? Once you've identified what it is that you're passionate about, the next step is to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be. Okay? And this involves taking steps to explore the new opportunities in order to make that meaningful change. Okay? So for me, one thing that I did was, like I already said, I started jotting down what are the parts of my work that I actually love. They light me up. And like take them and like turn them into physical things, because I can't just be like orientation day. Well, what does that actually mean? Oh, it means I get to meet new people. It means that I'm not sitting at a desk. It means that I'm like engaging people. It means that I'm teaching. I love to teach. I wasn't always teaching about things that I was passionate about, because it was like policies and procedures and stuff. But I was teaching. I like to talk. I get to talk. I'm not meant to sit behind a desk and be quiet. It's not any job that I've ever had that has had me doing that. It like literally killed my soul. Okay, so like know your strengths. Know your strengths. Know where you get your energy from. I get my energy from other people. Me being by myself doesn't serve me. Although I do love alone time. That's not the same thing. But I like to recharge and be around other people. My husband's the exact opposite. He's like, and people can go. And that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But this is where start to entertain something different than what you've been doing. Okay? Start networking. I started actually, like once I started thinking about it, I started talking to other people who had what I desired. And never in a million years did I think I would have ended up in the network marketing industry. But the moment I saw somebody teaching on something that I enjoyed, I was like, tell me more, tell me more. And they were living the life I wanted to live. I was like, huh. So I had to then get over all the stigmas I had in my mind around that industry. And I moved into it. It was like the perfect segue into like, I got to work with people. I got to pump them up. I got to teach them. I got to, right? Like it was everything that I needed. And I was like, dang, I didn't see that coming. Didn't see it coming in that package there. Okay. And then I started networking. I started putting myself in different situations, volunteering in different, like volunteering is an awesome way to start exploring your passions. I mean, you're giving back to your community, but then you're also like dabbling in what you think you might want to do or the people you might want to hang out with. Give your time. You might go, I have no time. You have time. You don't have time not to do this. Like, what are you going to like work in a job that you hate for the next however many years? Like, even if you're like, but Dylan, I only have 10 years left. I only have 6 years left. You're not guaranteed to live the next 6 years. So how are you going to spend it? I know, I just said it. I did. Guys, you're not guaranteed anything except for today. So that like pension you're waiting for, not guaranteed it. That whatever you're waiting for, not guaranteed it. You're guaranteed today. And every day you have an opportunity to start like, once I realized, oh, this isn't the space I'm meant to be working in, I wasn't like, I quit. Right? No. I started planting the seeds for something different. I started building out my network marketing business. And if anybody's been in network marketing, it's not a quick money game. Although A lot of people think that it's like the get rich quick. No, it has nothing to do with that. I mean, you can, I guess, if you want to, but it's like you're building something brick by brick by brick by brick. It doesn't matter whether you're in network marketing or you're starting a business. Like you're building it up. Got to get your name out there. You have to like build a reputation. You got to build it out. Okay, so start building it out. And for me, gosh, I could have honestly, so 2 years I ran my business before I was like, okay, I'm resigning at the hospital. 2 years. I was actually ready after 1 year to resign, but I couldn't do it. And this is the thing, you're looking for the like tangible steps. Well, give me the steps to do it. I'm telling you, 20% of it is the steps. The rest is you getting out of your own way to actually do it. Actually do it. Like not just talk about it, not like put your money where your mouth is and like switch. And know that you're worthy of it. Know that you can do this. That's the other part of it. There are so many opportunities out there for you, but you don't see them because you're too stuck in the like the way you've been doing it, even though you're not happy. And you're going, oh, but I've got mouths to feed and this person's relying on me and da la la la. You need to start relying on yourself. The person that's relying on you for the money from the job, they're also relying on you to maintain sanity in order to live life and coexist together. Honestly, that was a big one for Dave because he initially was like, oh, Dylan, you want to resign, really? Ugh. But then it was just like, he also watched me every day. He knew I wasn't rising to my full potential. And he knew I was like, every day that I did it, it was like chipping away at my soul, especially after I realized that I wasn't meant to be there. It just was like chip, 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 chip. And then finally he was like, would you just do it, please? Please, 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 please. Just get it done. Get it done. Rip the Band-Aid off. Go. Okay? But you deserve to have this very purposeful career and life. And for those of you that are like, hey, I'm choosing, like, I want my career to be raising my kids. Honestly, hardest work you'll ever do. But go all in on it. Don't half-ass it. Own it. It drives me bonkers when I hear, oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Shut up. That's awful. Don't ever say that about yourself. Own it. I'm raising humans. I'm raising the next generation. What do you got? Right? Like, this is where when you make a choice and you're like, no, this is my purpose, own it. Own it. Get in there. And the actions will start to take care of themselves. And I don't like when people say, oh, I'm just this. It's like, well, what do you associate? What's just mean? Does it mean because it doesn't pay anything? Yeah, being a mom, it pays in love. Like, that's what you're getting. Okay. But like, own it. That's what comes with the job. Don't be hating on yourself for it. Oh, I'm just, and I remember at the hospital, like when I was in university, my summer job was I worked in housekeeping at the hospital. Like I would come home every summer and I would hear some housekeepers go, oh, I'm just a housekeeper. I'm like, are you kidding me? This job is no joke. Like we're busting our butts and we're like, we get to be sometimes the only non-clinical person that these patients are seeing in a day. Like, own it. Own your role. I mean, just a housekeeper. Just own it. Like whatever it is that you love, just own it. And if you're not in it, you'll know it. You'll know it because you'll feel it. Like your soul is literally saying, you need out. You just have to take the steps to do it. I know, this is massive. So we're going to dig more into this. We actually have an entire challenge in my app right now, and we're digging into purpose and all of this awesomeness. So download the Pursue You app, Pursue you with the U. And yeah, get on in there. Honestly, there's lots of different options. It's a free app. Okay. And then there's lots of different options for you to get engaged in however you want to get engaged. But staying where you're at and this feeling, don't let it be an option anymore. Okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you in the app.